I've worked with a lot of medicinal mushrooms over the years, and lion's mane is one of those that teaches you to trust the process. Because there's a moment in this process, one that makes people think that they've done something terribly wrong, but it actually tells you that everything has gone exactly right. And today, I want to walk you through this entire double extraction process from the moment it was found in the woods to the finished jars of tincture we'll be using and sharing this year. This batch started in the woods with my daughter when she called out that she saw something big and white in the distance. She had to cross the creek and go quite a ways off when she called out to me, holding it up high in the air. I just called back, "What does it look like?" And from across the creek, without hesitation, she said, "It's fuzzy." And that was all I needed. I knew we had something very special, and we were all very excited. It was large, healthy, and absolutely beautiful. Back home, I took a moment to really just look at this beautiful treasure. Lion's mane has these soft, downward growing tendrils. They're flexible, slightly springy, and clean. The base is solid. The structure was intact, exactly like what you'd want to see. This is what a good lion's mane looks like before it ever touches the jar. Lion's mane is one of my favorite mushrooms to tincture, and one I think is worth having on hand regularly. It's best known for its support of the brain and nervous system. Traditionally, and in modern research, lion's mane is associated with memory, focus, and nerve regeneration. But what makes it really special is how it works. Lion's mane contains special compounds which are well known and associated with stimulating nerve growth, something very few natural substances do. At the same time, it contains beta-glucans and polysaccharides which support immune health, gut health, and overall resilience. So this isn't a mushroom that supports just one system. It's a whole body tonic, especially helpful during seasons of mental strain, recovery, or long-term stress. And that's why I prefer it as a tincture. A properly made tincture preserves these compounds long-term, is easy to take daily, and gives you consistent access to the mushroom's benefits, even when it's no longer in season. I chopped the mushroom into small pieces and packed it into clean half-gallon jars. For the alcohol part of the extraction, I used 100 proof vodka, which is 50% alcohol. You'll often hear people talk about alcohol percentage, but the proof matters too. So 100 proof equals 50% alcohol. 80 proof equals 40% alcohol. It's basically half. For mushrooms, especially lion's mane, I want enough alcohol to pull the alcohol-soluble compounds while still allowing space for water in the next phase. This doesn't need to be fancy alcohol. This was just an inexpensive vodka, simple but effective. I filled my 2 half-gallon jars, fully covering the mushrooms. So I filled the jars half with the mushroom and then fully with the vodka, which meant I had 1 part mushroom to 2 parts vodka. Now, those jars went into a cool, dark place for about 2 to 3 months. This is not something I rush. Time is what matters here. During this phase, the alcohol is extracting compounds that water alone cannot. When it came time to strain the mushroom out of the vodka, my son sat with me at the table, watching and very inquisitive about what was happening. There was so much liquid that I nearly overflowed the bowl. That was such a good sign. After straining, that same mushroom material goes straight into a pot on the stove. Now, this is important. You don't discard that mushroom product. That is the one that you put in the pot for the water. I covered the mushroom pieces with fresh spring water, just enough to go slightly above the top of my product. I brought it up to heat and then moved it to the smallest burner on the lowest setting. While that was heating up, I strained the vodka again through a much finer strainer. And this way I was able to get out any fine debris that might have been in the vodka still. I simmered this gently for about 2 hours, covered, making sure that nothing evaporated away. Now this step extracts the water-soluble compounds, particularly the polysaccharides lion's mane is known for, and this is why we do a double extraction. Once the heat was turned off, I let it cool, and this is where people tend to worry that they had made a mistake. As lion mane cools, the liquid thickens, sometimes dramatically, and that gelled, goopy texture, that's exactly what you want. Those polysaccharides are fully present. If your lion's mane doesn't do this, it usually means that the extraction wasn't strong enough or long enough. Because it had cooled completely, and because life and bedtime for littles happened, I gently warmed it again. Not to fix anything, just to make the straining easier. Low heat, no boiling, just enough warmth to loosen the gel so it could pass clearly through the strainer. This is normal with a strong lion's mane decoction. I strained it once and then again. And when everything was combined, the alcohol extract and the water extract, we ended up with nearly 3 full half-gallon jars. That kind of yield comes from patience, proper ratios, a huge blessing of a sizable piece of lion's mane, and understanding how this mushroom behaves. When starting the alcohol extraction, you can start with a dried lion's mane mushroom, or you can freeze it. And both of these processes help break down the cell walls, so the alcohol is able to better extract your tincture properties. I didn't do that in this case, and that is fine as well. Now, if you only have 40% alcohol, it can still work, but extraction may be less efficient, and longer steep times can help. And yes, you always use the same mushrooms for both extractions. That's the entire point of a double extraction. The next step of this process for me will be to divide these tinctures into smaller 1 ounce and 2 ounce amber jars with droppers. That's the easier way for me to give these as gifts, to use them for my family, and to sell them at market. This batch will be part of what we share at markets and festivals this year, and some will stay right here with our family. It is beautiful, beautiful medicine. And my daughter's definitely earned a finder's fee on this one. Before I close, I want to answer some questions that almost always come up after we finish making a tincture like this. Once people understand the process, usually the next question that comes up is, well, how do we take it and what is the dosage? And also, how safe is it? Lion's mane is very safe. And it's one of those mushroom tinctures that works really well gently and consistently, not in really large doses. For most adults, the common daily dosage is usually a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon once or twice a day. Some people prefer taking it in the morning so they can have better mental clarity, while others like to have it later in the evening because this is not a stimulating herb. What I've seen though is when you take this regularly, that's when lion's mane really shines, especially during seasons of mental strain, recovery, or long-term stress. I'm also often asked whether or not lion's mane is safe for children. And the short answer to that is yes, but when it comes to herbs and mushrooms, I especially like to be very gentle and careful when it comes to kids. Smaller doses, less frequent use, and paying close attention to how a children responds to this is very important. Lots of families choose lion's mane during specific seasons, like times of learning, strain, or mental stress, rather than daily or year-round. And of course, this is where knowing your own child, doing your own research, and consulting medical professionals is very important as well. As with all medicinal mushrooms, lion's mane is not about pushing through discomfort. Some people notice mild digestive changes while they're taking lion's mane, which is why starting small is always wise. If you have known mushroom allergies, if you're pregnant or nursing, or if you're taking medications that affect the nervous system, it's especially important to consult a medical practitioner before you start lion's mane. Used thoughtfully, it's generally very well tolerated, but respect for the mushroom is also part of the medicine. One of the reasons why I love making tinctures like this is because it gives you something that's very shelf-stable, long-lasting, and deeply useful. A batch like this could last my family for months or even years, and it allows us to carry the benefits of the forest long after that season has passed. Whether you're making this for your home, sharing it with your friends, or maybe selling it at festivals and fairs, it's a powerful reminder that traditional skills still have a place in modern life. I am so thankful for this harvest that we found. It was a gift from God, and I'm so thankful for the medicine that it allows us to have. Thank you for being here and for learning and for honoring these slower ways. Stay blessed.